Okay. Now, if you see the previous recorded video which I have uploaded on the YouTube channel, you can see this is our next lecture from our as a continuation of our previous lecture. Now, those who have seen the recorded video, they can only understand this part. Okay. So if you have not seen the previous video, then after this lecture, you can see the previous video when you get the time, because now this is your preparation time. So afterwards, you can see that. Okay. So good morning, all of you. And we are continuing with our next lecture from the unit 3. And as all of you know, the name of our unit number 3 is the language translator. And in this unit, we are studying about the phases of compiler. And in the phases of compiler, already 3-4 lecture already we have conducted. And this is the lecture number 5. So in this lecture, today we'll see about the what exactly is the next phase of compiler. Okay, and try to understand it. So what exactly mean by the phases of compiler, that already in the previous lectures already number of times I have explained you. Still once again I am repeating it. The phases in the physical classes we have discussed this point also. So phases are nothing but the different stages in the compilation, different what we can say is stages when you compile your source program, and how your source program get processed step by step, that are nothing but the considered as a phases in the compiler. Okay. So compiler mainly, if you see in the case of the higher level language like C, C++, Java, and other languages also, there is a utilization of language translator as a compiler. And we are just studying about how exactly the compilation process happens in details. Okay. And in that already in the previous lecture also I explained you, there are the two main phases of the compilation. One is the analysis phase and second as a synthesis phase. And currently we are discussing about the analysis phase of compiler. Okay. And in the analysis phase also, some initial phases already we have discussed, like we have discussed the two phases before this lecture. One is the lexical analyzer and second is the syntax analyzer. And as you can see here, compilation process is nothing but the sequence of phases or the sequence of sub process when your program get converted into the low level language from the higher level language. So basically the use of compiler is nothing but the converting your source program into the machine program, or converting your high level language program into the low level language program. And while the compiler is doing this task, there is a lot of activities or the different steps has to be performed, different sub process has to be performed, and that sub process we are considering as a phases. So you can see in this figure also, each phases take the input from the previous phase and try to convert into the output form. So here lexical analysis taking the input as your source program and converting it into the tokens. Here you can see, and this token is given as a input to the next phase of compiler, that is nothing but our syntax analyzer. What exactly the role of syntax analyzer, what exactly the role of lexical analyzer, for that you have to see the previous videos. So already I have explained the lexical analyzer role is nothing but the generation of tokens and send that token to the next phase of compiler, that is nothing but the syntax analyzer. Syntax analyzer receive the token as an input, okay, and process that input as a tokens. From that it try to make some sentence and check whether that sentence is the syntactically correct or not. And for that it generate the parse tree or the syntax tree. So syntax tree or the parse tree is considered as a output of the syntax analyzer. So if the parse tree or the syntax tree can be generated successfully, the meaning of that is what? The particular sentence which you have written in your program, the expression which you have written in your program is syntactically correct. So these are all the part in detail in the previous lecture I have explained. Okay, you can refer to the previous video for that. Now, so likewise, there are the different phases. First is the lexical, then syntax, then third is a semantic analyzer, regarding which today we are going to do the discussion. And next is the intermediate code, then code optimization, then code generations. These are the different phases. So So this is the, you can see this diagram which you can refer for the lexical analysis, where you can easily see whenever the lexical analyzer get the request from the parser. Parser is the another name for our syntax analyzer. Okay, so whenever the lexical analyzer get the request, here you can see the sequence number 1 I have shown. Whenever the parser send request to the lexical analyzer, that lexical analyzer read your source program, second point here, and then lexical analyzer send the tokens to the parser. So this is our first phase, that is the lexical analysis. So in the second phase, you can see the parser or the syntax analyzer, after receiving that tokens, generate the parse tree. So if the parse tree can be generated successfully, it means the syntax of your particular expression or the sentence is correct. But if the parse tree cannot be generated, then there is a different kind of syntactical errors can be generated. Now, related with the each phase of compiler, like for example, first phase, different lexical errors are there. Related with the second phase, parser or the syntax analyzer also, there are the different kind of syntax errors are generated. Okay, that already you can, I have explained in the previous videos. Now, while lexical analysis, syntax analysis, or the parser processing your source program, so every time they update your symbol table and also utilize the symbol table for doing the different kind of analysis. Okay, so these two things already in the previous lectures I have covered. Now today we are going to discuss about our third phase of compiler. Okay, that is nothing but our semantic analysis. Now you can see whenever the source program is written by the programmer, consider yourself as a programmer user. So that program which is being written by the user or the programmer, that program you write into the higher level language, you can consider here your higher level language as a C or the C++ or the Java, etc. So for example, consider you are writing the program in the C language. So this is C language is considered as your higher level language. Okay. So when you write the program, that program get checked through the compiler, and stepwise it get checked through the compiler. So what are that steps in that? Already I told you. First is nothing but the lexical checking, then syntactical checking, etc., etc. Okay. So when you write some program, and in that program you write some sentences, expression. Okay. Now it might be possible that the whatever sentence or the expression which you are writing in your program, that sentence or the expression might be the lexically correct, or that sentence or the expression might be syntactically correct, but the sentence or expression which you are writing in your source program, for example C, using the C language, so that sentence or the expression may not be semantically correct. Okay, what I'm trying to say, the sentence or expression which you have written in your source program, that may be lexically correct, that may be syntactically correct, but it may be possible it is not semantically correct. So whether that sentence is semantically correct or not, that is checked in our third phase of compiler, that is the semantic analysis. Now, what exactly the checking happens in the third phase of compiler? So third phase of compiler generally used to check whether the programmer has written the code, and in that code programmer used to write the different instruction with the help of sentences, expression, whether that sentences, expression written by the programmer, whether it is having the valid meaning or not. That is the role of semantic analyzer. Programmer which has written the code, it can be a lexically correct. Okay, if the programmer has written the code, if the token can be generated from that code, then it is lexically correct. If syntax of your expression, sentences which you have written in your program, if they are all correct, then it is also the syntactically correct. But if that sentences expression is having the valid meaning or not, who is checking that? That is being checked by whom? The semantic analyzer. So role of semantic analyzer is nothing but what? You can see this scenario here. Here is our semantic analyzer. Okay. So semantic analyzer receive the input from the parser or the syntax analyzer. Okay. So what is the output of the parser or the syntax analyzer? Yes. What is output of the parser or the syntax analyzer? Yes. Can you able to see these? What is the output of the parser or the syntax analyzer? Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What is the output of the parser or the syntax analyzer? In this figure, what output you are observing? Yes. What output being getting generated through the parser here?
Semantic analyzer.
This is the semantic analyzer. This is the third phase of compiler. Now, what input it is receiving from its previous phase? Output of the parser or the output of the syntax analyzer. And what is the output of the parser or the syntax analyzer? Who is generating the parse tree or the syntax tree? Which phase is generating the parse tree or the syntax tree? Parser. So here you can see parser is generating the parse tree after successful syntax analysis. And that is given as an input to the third phase of our compiler, that is the semantic analyzer. This is the third phase of our compiler. Now, what semantic analyzer is checking, whether the particular output, a particular input he has received from the previous phase, it check that, means it check this parse tree, and with the help of that parse tree, it check whether that sentence or the expression it is having the valid meaning or not. And after that, semantic analyzer generate one more parse tree, that is the modified parse tree, or which is also referred as annotated parse tree. Now, this annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree will be generated if the particular sentence or the expression which you have written in your source program, it is having some valid meaning. Okay, so here I have mentioned the semantic analyzer take the output of syntax analyzer, that is the parse tree or the syntax tree, as an input, and check whether it is semantically, means whether it is a meaningful or not, by producing the annotated parse tree or by producing the modified parse tree. Okay, now what do you mean by semantically correct statement, or what do you mean by the semantically correct expression, or what do you mean by the meaningful expression or meaningful sentence in case of your source program? So in order to understand that, you need to understand first what are the different kind of semantic error that get generated when you compile your program. Now, before this, we have seen the different kind of lexical errors, different kind of syntactical errors, etc., etc. Now, here we have to see what exactly are the different semantic errors which is being detected by the semantic analyzer, okay, with the help of semantic analysis. So during the semantic analysis phase, different kind of errors are being get generated, okay, or get appear in your program. So detection of the different semantic errors during the compile time, that is the main work of the semantic analyzer. Okay, so here I have mentioned some of the semantic error examples which you must have experienced when you try to compile your source program. Okay, so which are the different kind of semantic errors? Now, before this, in the previous video, we have seen what are the different kind of syntactical errors. If you don't write the semicolon, then that is considered as one of the syntax errors. Okay, if you write the misspelling of the word in your program, then that is considered as a lexical error. So that is regarding the previous phases we have discussed. So here we are discussing about the semantic errors. So these are the common semantic errors I have mentioned, which can be appear in your program. So first is what? Incompatible type operands. What? Incompatible type operands means what? Suppose if I declare the variable like this, int, okay, int a, okay, and to this variable I try to assign the string ram. What I'm trying to assign it, the string ram. Now tell me, will you get the any kind of error here? Yes or no? Yes. You'll get the error. What kind of error we will get? Will you get the any lexical error, or will you get any syntax error, or will you get the semantic error? Yes. Which error will be we will get? What is wrong here in this expression? Yes. What is wrong in this expression? Can anybody tell me?
Data type.
Data type means
think-
here you are declaring the a as an integer variable, and what you are trying to assign it?
String.
String. So does the type compatibility is happening here?
No.
No. So that is nothing but the incompatible type of the operand, because here our operand is what? A, which is having the data type you have mentioned int, and you are trying to assign it what? The string. So this kind of error generation or detection, that is the work of which phase? That is the work of our third phase of compiler, that is the semantic analysis. So can you call this expression as a meaningful expression?
No.
No. It is a lexically correct. It is also the syntactically, it might be syntactically correct also, but it is not semantically correct. And which kind of error will we get generated for this? Incompatible type of the operands. Okay. So that is the work of our semantic analyzer, to check whether your expression is the semantically valid or not, whether it is the having the valid meaning or not. And it is done by the semantic analyzer by generating the modified parse tree or by generating the annotated parse tree with the help of the input it received from the syntax analyzer as a parse tree. Here you can see in the previous slide I have shown you, the semantic analyzer received the input from the previous phase of parse tree, and semantic analyzer does this type checking, and then it generates the modified parse tree. If the type checking is incorrect, if the type compatibility is not happening, the modified parse tree will not be get generated. It means the semantic error will be get generated. Likewise, I have shown you the different kind of other semantic errors also. Here you can see use of the non-initialized variable. Sometimes from the programmer, this kind of mistake always happens. If you see this fragment of code, now in this fragment of code, you have initialized the variable as a int as I, then in the function f, you have mentioned the variable int m. Okay. Now you can see what is the error in this fragment of code. Can anybody tell me? What error you are observing here? Yes.
Function is void.
No, your function can be void. There is no
Yes.
problem.
T is not
It is not declared. Very good. Use of the non-initialized variable. Have you declared the t anywhere here? No. So that is also the semantic error. Understood this one? Yes.
Yes.
So in this code, t is undeclared. That is the reason here you will get the semantic error. Okay, which is being done by the semantic analyzer. That is our third phase of compiler. Then you can see the type compatibility. Regarding the type compatibility, already we have seen the example. Here you have declared the variable as n, and you are trying to assign it the string. This is also the not type compatible. Now another kind of error also occurs. Okay, another kind of mistake can also happen from the programmer, like this. Here I have shown. So here I have shown the string s. Okay, and to the s I have assigned the string s and d. And again below, what I have done. Now, if you observe this fragment of code, can you tell me what is the error here?
String addition.
So you are trying to do addition of the integer and the string. Is it possible?
No.
No. So that is also the another kind of semantic error, which is detected by whom? Which is detected by the semantic analyzer, which is nothing but our third phase of compiler. Understood this? Let's see the next. Again, one more good example of semantic errors you can see here. Now, always there is a question on explanation of the semantic errors. Okay. Now, this is the example I have shown here. I hope all of you can able to see it correctly. So this is the example. Can you tell me what is the error in this example? Yes. Can anybody tell me what is the error in this example? Yes. Can you all of you able to see this fragment of code?
Yes.
Now tell me, what is the problem, or is there any problem? Yes or no? If yes, then what is the problem? What is the wrong?
फंक्शन मध्ये सम फंक्शन व्हेरिएबल 3 आर्ग्युमेंट पास केले.
म्हणजे काय, आपण ह्या
तिथे
व्हेरिएबलला
दोनच
इथं जे
declare
व्हेरिएबल
केलेले
डिक्लेअर
आहे.
केलेत यांना कुठलं, यांना काय म्हणतो आपण?
हा,
व्हॉट इज द नेम फॉर दिस व्हेरिएबल्स? These are the actual variable arguments or these are the actual parameters or the formal parameters? This is what our actual parameters. And where is our formal parameters? Which are our formal parameters?
integer a and
A
integer.
and B. Now, what is the mistake that is being done here?
They are not matched.
पाच.
म्हणजे इथून तुम्ही पास किती व्हेरिएबल करताय? From here you are passing the 3 variables. But here to receive that only 2 variables are there. So will your program will get successfully compiled without any
No.
error?
No.
No, because there is a not matching of actual argument with the formal arguments. So this kind of error also comes within a semantic error. आता इथं मला सांगा, ह्या प्रोग्राम मध्ये लेक्सिकल एरर आहे का कुठला? सिंटॅक्टिकल एरर आहे का कुठला? सिंटॅक्स एरर आहे का?
नाही.
पण सिमेंटिक एरर आहे. येस और नो?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is initially I said your program can be lexically correct. Your program can be syntactically correct, but it may be possible your program is not semantically correct. Understood? And whether your program is meaningful or not, whether your program is semantically correct or not, that checking is done by our third phase of compiler, that is nothing but semantic analyzer. Understood the semantic analyzer?
Yes. sir.
Yes. Okay. So same points in the words I have mentioned here, what exactly being done by the semantic analyzer or semantic analysis. Okay. So here this figure is like this. Okay. Semantic analyzer also utilize the symbol tables. So semantic analysis check whether the parse tree constructed follow the rules of language or not. So semantic analyzer receive the parse tree from the previous phase. Now semantic analyzer check whether that parse tree is valid, is having any valid meaning or not. If it is having valid meaning, then you will not get any semantic error. But if it is not having the valid meaning, then definitely you will get the errors. Okay. So different kind of semantic errors already we have seen. And to check the different kind of semantic errors, that is the work of our semantic analyzer. So like we have seen the assignment of values between the if there is assignment of values between the compatible data types, then it is okay. But if there is assignment of value between the incompatible data types, means if you try to add string to the integer, then it is not okay. Semantic analyzer will show you the semantic error. Okay. Also, what can be done, what different things done by the semantic analyzer, like keeping the track of the identifier or the variable which you are utilizing in the program, keeping the track of their data types which you are utilizing the expression. Okay. Keeping the track whether you have declared the identifier or the variable before its utilization. So these are all the things being done by the semantic analyzer. And semantic analyzer does all these things with the help of generation of annotated syntax tree or the modified parse tree. What do you mean by the annotated syntax tree or the modified parse tree? So what semantic analyzer actually does, the parse tree which you have received from the previous phase, it does some changes in that parse tree. Now what kind of changes need to be done by the semantic analyzer, that we'll see in the next slide. But you have to just understand, output which is generated by the semantic analyzer is nothing but the annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree. Okay. So next you can see the other discussion related to the semantic analyzer I have mentioned here. Semantic analysis used to check semantic consistency of the code, means whether it is meaningful or not. Okay. And while doing this, it utilizes the symbol table. Okay. To do the semantic analysis. Okay. And with the help of this, it check whether your sentence or the expression is having the appropriate meaning or not. So already we have discussed that thing. Semantic analyzer will check for the type mismatch, incompatible operand, a function call with the improper arguments, undeclared variable checking, these all the things being done by the semantic analyzer. So here also I have put down one example. Here we have declared the float x as a 20.2 and another variable we have declared as a float y equal to x into the 30. Now what is the mistake here? Is there any mistake? Yes or no? In these two expression which you have written here. What is the problem? Is there any problem in the first expression, float x equal to the 20.2? Yes?
No.
No. In the second expression,
Yes.
what is the
It's
problem?
Uh,
Yes, what is the problem? In second expression, yes. Now in the second expression, what is happening? Float y equal to x into the 30. Now what is the data type of x?
float.
Float. And you are trying to add x. You are trying to multiply x with what?
Integer.
Integer.
30.
Then what should be there? Typecasting should be there, should be required here, yes or no?
30.0.
म्हणजे typecasting is required. I hope you are getting the meaning of typecasting.
Yes.
Okay, so this kind of now for this kind of expression, you will definitely get the error or the warning message that 30 should be get typecasted to the 30.0, etc., etc. Now in case of C compiler, typecasting is done automatically. If you have experienced this, okay, typecasting is done automatically in case of the C compiler, but the compiler will definitely show you the error or the warning message for this kind of things which you have written in your program, because this is not the meaningful according to the semantic analysis phase of our compiler. So from all of above discussion, we can frame the functions of semantic analysis. Like semantic analyzer helps to store the data type information regarding all the different symbols or all the different variable which you have utilized in your program, okay, which is there in the syntax tree also. And main role performed by the semantic analyzer is nothing but to do the type checking and perform the activity of type compatibility. Okay. And in case of any type mismatch or whether if there are no extra type of correction, if there is a no particular matching is happening between the operand and its type, showing the syntactical errors, that is also the main role performed by the semantic analyzer. So showing the different kind of errors. Now in case of the semantic analyzer shows the different kind of semantic errors. What are that semantic errors? Already in the previous slides we have discussed. Okay. Now the point which you are discussing, the semantic analyzer tried to generate the annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree from the input it received from its previous phase. So previous phase of our semantic analyzer is nothing but what? Syntax analyzer. Okay. Now here I have mentioned the semantic analyzer check whether sentence or the string is meaningful or not, because given sentence can be a lexically correct or given sentence can be a syntactically correct, but it may not be a semantically correct. So in order to check whether your sentence is semantically correct or not, semantic analyzer generate the modified parse tree as an output with some modification in the previous parse tree. Now this example we are continuing from the lexical analysis. Okay, we are doing the processing on this particular expression or the sentence. You have to just imagine this is the part of your program. Okay, and we are doing the lexical analysis on this. Also, we have done the syntax analysis on this, etc., etc. Now we will try to do the semantic analysis of this expression. Now for this expression, symbol table like this will be generated, like serial number, variable names, or the symbols X, A, B are there. Okay, what are the type of that? Type of the X is float, type of the A is float, type of the B is float, that we have to imagine. Okay, for example. Then now in this example, if you see, what is the data type of 50? Okay, what is the data type of 50 by default here? Data type of 50 by default here is the integer. Okay. Now, but the data type of other operand, like you can see the data type of A is float, data type of B is float. Okay. So if you try to do the operation, of this using this particular sentence, okay, where the type of X is also float, A is float, and B is also float. Now, does the type compatibility is okay here? Is there any issue related with the type compatibility in this expression? Yes. Is there any issue related with the type compatibility in the given expression? Yes or no?
Yes.
Whether the type compatibility is okay or not? Can we do the multiplication of B and the 50? Yes.
No.
Yes or no? Can you do the multiplication of B and the 50?
No.
If no, why?
Integer.
Because
Integer.
50 is the integer and B data type is what?
Float.
Float. So 50 here needs to be converted into the float or the real to match the type compatibility. What do you mean by the type compatibility? When the type compatibility will be okay, when the data type of the B and the data type of the 50 will be same, then we can say the type compatibility is okay. But here data type of the B is different, data type of the 50 is different. So there is a issue in case of the type compatibility, and this issue is detected by whom? This issue is detected by our third phase of compiler, that is the semantic analyzer. Okay. Now, in case of this expression, if this is the expression in your program, source program, and if you try to compile it, definitely the compiler will show you the different kind of warning and the error messages. Understood? Now, for this, now how it is being checked by the semantic analyzer? Semantic analyzer check it by generating the modified parse tree or by generating the annotated parse tree for such kind of expression. Now, modified parse tree is being generated, or annotated parse tree is being generated for this expression like this. Now, this is being generated from the parse tree which is generated by the second phase of compiler. Now, how the second phase of compiler, that is the syntax analyzer, generate the parse tree or the syntax tree? For that, you have to refer the previous lecture. So, syntax analyzer or the parser generate the parse tree with the help of the grammar. Okay, with the help of the grammar. So, with the help of this grammar, the syntax analyzer generate the parse tree, and the semantic analyzer make the changes in that previous parse tree. So when the semantic analyzer does the changes in the previous parse tree, that generated parse tree by the semantic analyzer is called as what? The annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree. So for the parse tree which is generated by the syntax analyzer in the previous phase, the changes is being done in the semantic analyzer. So this is nothing but our annotated parse tree. Okay, this is our annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree. Now what changes is being done here? Okay, if you have just seen our previous lecture, in that previous lecture you can see in place of this 50.0 in the previous lecture, where the output of the syntax analyzer or the syntax tree or the parse tree, in place of the 50.0 there was what was written? Only the 50. Okay, because syntax analyzer role is to check whether syntactically that correct or not, but semantic analyzer role is what? Whether to check it is a semantically correct or not. Understood? So semantic analyzer has to convert this, has to do the typecasting, or semantic analyzer has to show the warning or the error messages that instead of writing the 50, there should be what should be written? 50.0, so that 50 can be get converted into the float or real. Okay. So who is performing that role of giving the error messages or the warning to do the typecasting of particular operand which is not compatible with its surrounding operand? So that that warning or the message is shown by the semantic analyzer, and semantic analyzer does it by generating such kind of annotated parse tree or the annotated or modified parse tree. Okay. So from this kind of grammar, this kind of annotated parse tree or the syntax annotated parse tree or the annotated syntax tree is being generated, which is also called as a modified parse tree or the modified syntax tree. So that is all about the what we can say semantic analyzer. Okay. So in short, in the here I have mentioned the things which we have discussed related to the semantic analyzer. So semantic analyzer perform the main role of semantic analysis. Okay, by checking the particular sentence whether it is meaningful or not. Okay, and it does it by taking the parse tree from the syntax analyzer, which is the previous phase of semantic analyzer. Okay, so that's it regarding our third phase of compiler, that is our semantic analysis. Okay, in the next lecture we will discuss the next phase of compiler, that is the intermediate code generation. So you just go through the previous video and this video also, and comment me if you have any doubt. Okay, thank you all of you, and carry on with your preparation.